Again, hello. Right now, what I would like to do is to go over your syllabus for the 2020-2021 school year for integrated chemistry physics. Quick description here of what this class is about is pretty much summed up in its name. We will be covering the basics of chemistry and physics from its fundamental concepts of both, okay? We'll make this more of a conceptual class as much as I can. That basically means that we're going to be trying to study the main ideas behind chemistry and physics. You will find that there is some math involved in both chemistry and physics. I will try to keep that to a minimum, as I have found out in the past. This is something that many of the kids in this class that take it struggle with, so I'll do my best to help make sure everything is taught thoroughly and that you will be able to work at your ability to understand the concepts. You can see in the reading there of the course description, basically our goal for this course is just to produce people that are at least what we would consider scientifically literate. That means under the basic concepts of science, and apply those to just real world situations that you might face in the future. This class is not recommended for students with previous credits in either chemistry and or physics. That means if you have taken chemistry and or physics, this is not a class recommended for you, because basically you'll be getting the same much of the same material as you already covered in that class. So we prefer people that have not taken either chemistry or physics. Okay, as we move on, there is no textbook for this class. We do have online labs called Gizmo Labs. This can be found at www.explorelearning.com. I will be showing you later how to sign up for that. So that'll be in one of the following pages. Make sure that every day you have a computer that is charged, and or bring your charger with you. Now, best to have your computer charged, because you will have assigned seats and you will not, because of the current situation, be allowed to get up and go to different spots. You'll have to stay in that assigned seat, and that might mean that you are in a position where your charger will not reach an outlet. So please make sure that your computer is charged every day. Please bring something to write with. I do not care if you use pen or pencil. Just make sure you write legibly. Please, please, please do not bring any red pens. I grade in red pens. Now, at the beginning of the year, we're going to limit the amount of papers handed back and forth, so you'll be answering most of your stuff online through Canvas, so that will not be an issue. Also have a pocket or folder. I will be turning back, once we can do that, or pass papers in and turn them back. I will be giving those back for you to have as study resources. You may also, or will need to, have some loose leaf paper. Sometimes you will do assignments in which you are simply writing the answers onto a piece of paper and turning them in. Again, at the beginning of the year, we obviously are not going to be doing that because of the current situation. Students, if you need to get hold of me and you need some help, okay, you may contact me at any time, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 8 a.m. before school and after school, or after school by appointment. Now, again, this part again is being restricted in our current situation. So what I would really like you to do here at the beginning of the year is to message me through Canvas. I will do absolutely my best to explain thoroughly your question through Canvas. Okay. Once we get to a point where you are actually in the classroom, we'll be able to do some more face-to-face, and hopefully I can explain things even better then. Okay, but as we move on and hopefully things clear up, you can come and see me every morning or make appointments with me after school. Our course, as I said, this is integrated chemistry physics. Okay, so we're covering those two areas. Here are the 10 standards that we are expected to get through, the 10 topics that I am expected to cover with you throughout the year. I'm going to change things up a little bit this year, simply going from standard 1 to standard 10. So that means our first standard that we'll be covering once we get to past these first couple days is we're going to start with what is an introduction, to motion. Okay, we will talk about again what is the difference here again between distance and displacement. Once we get that down, we'll talk about moving objects. From there, we'll go into what is velocity. From velocity, we'll run into acceleration. From acceleration, we get into Newton's one-dimensional laws of motion. All three of those are very closely related. You need standard 1 to be able to understand standard 2 and standard 3. Okay. From there, we'll move to standard 4. We'll talk about energy. Specifically, what we're going to be talking about is different types of energy, and more importantly, we'll be talking mainly about kinetic and potential energy. Kinetic energy being energy of motion, so tying back into standard 3, and stored energy or potential energy. Okay. All of that is going to fall mainly under physics. When we get to standard 5 at the end of the semester, we'll get into the particle theory of matter. So we'll start getting into some chemistry just at the end of semester 1. Coming back for semester 2, we will be doing some more chemistry, and we'll be describing substances like what is solid, liquids, and gases. That's actually going to come through in the theory of matter. We'll get into simple compounds, mixtures, and things like that when describing substances. We'll get into chemical changes, and we'll talk about the 5 types of chemical changes. From there, we'll go into electricity and magnetism. This is kind of a mixture of both chemistry and physics. There we will move into waves, which means we'll be getting back into physics and the different types of waves that there are and how things move through waves. And then finally, we'll end up with what is called nuclear energy. Again, this will be a combination of chemistry and physics. Okay, assignments. What's going to be graded? You will have homework assignments in the form of worksheets to do along the way. Again, we do not have a textbook. So most of the, if not all the answers for your worksheets will come from your PowerPoint presentations. We will have some lab work to do as we move again. Most of that lab work will be done through Gizmo Labs. Okay, so it's going to be virtual labs instead of hands-on labs. I will try to include some hands-on labs, obviously. I know those are a little bit more fun. But again, with our current situation and our limiting space or making sure there is space between individuals, getting into small groups around the lab tables is going to be very limited at the beginning. You will have quizzes throughout as we go through each topic. Those quizzes may be very short, maybe just simply 5 questions, or they can range all the way up to 25 points. Probably very few, if any. Most of them will range from 5 to 15 points. All of your tests will be worth 50 points. That may not mean you have 50 questions, but they will be graded at 50 points. This can include anything talked about during a lecture, PowerPoint, classroom discussion, any homework that we do, any of the lab work that we do, and they will be entirely multiple choice matching or what we call sequencing, pinning things in the correct order. Possibility of doing projects throughout. Again, any projects will have to be individual projects because of keeping space in between individuals in the classroom. I'll give you more instructions about what the topics and due dates of those will be. And finally, at the end of the semester, as I mentioned, you will, and as you all know, have a semester exam, 100 items. So basically looking at anywhere from 75 to 100 questions. It will cover everything from the semester. Grading procedures, pretty basic as you've seen throughout your years in school. Grading scales 90, 80, 70, 60. Okay, again, that is how it works. Obviously, 90 to 92 is an A minus, 93 to 99 actually is an A, with an A plus being 100. If it's a B, it goes 80 to 82, and then 83 to 86, 87 through 89 would be a B plus. Homework, lab work, quizzes, tests, all put together in what is a total grading system to get your score. Okay, I add all those up, I find a percentage, and that is your grade for the 9 weeks. Now, for semester grades, we work on a 45, 45, and 10%. Okay, so I take 45% towards each 9 weeks, and then I take your semester grade, give it 10, I add those together, and we have your semester grade. You are responsible for keeping track of your own grades. You can do this through PowerSchool. That is the best way to do it. If you come up with any questions, I know I have made mistakes in the past. Just contact me as quick as possible if you notice something that's not matching up to what you should be. I just appreciate you doing that, and I'll get that changed as quick as possible. All work is your responsibility. Okay, I expect you to be getting things turned in time. If you are absent, it's your responsibility to either look at the modules or look at the calendar and Canvas to figure out what you've missed. You have 1 day to get that made up. All tests must be made up within 1 week of the original test date, or I will put a 0 in for those. If you have an extended absence for one reason, then we will work from there. If I cannot read it, I will not accept it. I'll simply turn it back to you and count it as not turned in until you return it. Get it back in. Late assignments will not be accepted for full credit. If you turn something in late, I only give half credit, and assignments will only be accepted up until the unit test. Once the unit test is completed, I will no longer accept assignments from that particular topic or unit. I do not give assignment, or I do not give extra credit on a student-by-student basis. I do offer everyone the opportunities to earn some extra credit throughout the 9 weeks. You'll just have to take advantage of those. Okay, now what I am going to want you to do from here is go to the next page, which is a short quiz saying that you have understand and accept the terms and of what the syllabus is explaining to you. So please move on and fill out that short quiz for me.